What are the implications of the Federal Reserve's now formalized average inflation targeting policy?
Well, this new Fed policy is very inflationary. It should affect commodity prices overall and support them, including and especially gold and silver. So more inflation means higher prices for the precious metals.
Why did S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures advance to new record highs earlier today when there was limited market-moving news?
Well, we did see some new record highs in the S&P and the NASDAQ in the overnight trade. Since then, we have backed off a little bit. Looks like these markets still being positively affected by what Fed Chair Powell had to say last Thursday at the Jackson Hole Symposium. So with no news, basically, and higher prices, I believe that is an indication that further strength is likely near term for these stock index futures.
What is the U.S. dollar outlook?
Well, if more inflation is coming here in the U.S., of course, that would undermine the U.S. dollar index. And even just today, with the dollar lower, closing in on the 92.11 lows made on August 18th, I believe that this low will be taken out. So look for lower prices in the short term and also in the long term for the U.S. dollar index.
Grain futures continue to rally. Why? Will it continue? Should farmers sell this rally?
We've had an impressive rally in the grain futures over the last few weeks because of dry weather across the Midwest and China buying U.S. soybeans. I think we're close to the top end of this range. Obviously, we have to figure out what the size of the crop is. And there's no rain in the forecast, but I think that given world numbers and maybe a little bit drop in demand offsetting the drop in the U.S. crop numbers, I think we're close to the top in prices. I also feel farmers should take advantage of this rally and sell into anything they have like corn and beans in inventory, 2021 crops, and even start selling some of the 2021 crops.
What is the latest U.S. weather forecast?
Forecast is dry over most of the Midwest over the next 2 weeks, but temperatures are cooler than they were over the last 3 weeks. The corn is maturing rapidly, so there probably any rain now won't help them, but a rain could help the soybeans, but none is in the forecast.
What is the latest fund position and technical signals?
The funds right now are long about 140,000 contracts of beans, 70,000 contracts of soybean oil. They're now long 20,000 meal, short 40,000 corn and long 15,000 wheat. So they have gone from a short position as early as the end of July to a long net position. I think that the market is overbought, but certainly the weather situation supports maybe a little bit more of a rally. The technical signals is basically overbought, and we may be near a top.
When is the next USDA report?
The next USDA report will be September 11th. In that report, the USDA will have their first field survey of crops across the key states. They're also going to resurvey acres in Iowa, and they'll have more data as far as how much farmers signed up acres-wise for their crop insurance programs. So we'll see how many bushels we lose on September 11th in corn and beans, how much demand we lose, and what the final carryouts are. Some people are still using 2.5 to 2.9 billion bushel U.S. corn carryout for 2021 and a 600 million bushel bean carryout. So I think if they say that, it could be a little negative to prices. So circulate your calendar, September 11th is the next USDA key report.